Science, Grade 7, Sound, Unit 11. Listen to the sound of nature. It belongs to the field left untouched within you. Murari Bharadwaj. Objectives of this unit. Following could be understood by studying this unit. Sound is generated due to vibrations. A medium is necessary for the propagation of sound. Sound can be propagated by the vibration of membranes, strings, or air. The speed of sound is different in different media. 11.1 Production of sound. 11.2 Propagation or traveling of sound. Before starting this unit, you have to have your textbook. Part 2. Turn to Sound, Unit 11. Production of sound. Natural sounds. Sound of wind, sound of birds, sound of a waterfall, sound of rain, barking of a dog, sound of sea waves, thundering. Here are some examples for artificial sounds. Sound of vehicles, sound of an aeroplane, sound of a train, sound of the school bell, sound of musical instruments, sound of machines, sound of a rocket. You can add some more examples for these instances. The objects that produce sound are called sources of sound. Dancing sprinklers. You can see a drum here. When the drum is beaten, the sprinklers are moving here and there. That is because this membrane of the drum is vibrated when it is beaten. Then we are going to discuss about activity 11. You need a speaker. You can take a speaker from a broken radio, a small speaker, some pieces of ridgeform balls, connecting wire, dry cells. Method: connect the wires to the terminals of the speaker. These are the terminals of the speaker. Place the pieces of ridgeform balls on the speaker. Connect one of the two free ends of wires to the dry cell, like this. Touch the other free end of the wires with the terminals of the dry cell and remove at once. Do not keep the wires connected to the dry cell. Keep on touching and removing one end of the wires to the dry cell and record your observations. It is observed that pieces of ridgeform balls are thrown up only when the speaker is connected to the dry cell. The sound is produced when wire ends of the speaker are connected to the dry cell. It means that pieces of polystyrene or ridgeform balls are thrown up only when the speaker produces sound. This happens because of the to and fro movement of the speaker cone. This is the speaker cone. This type of a speedy to and fro movement is known as vibration. Here, the activity 11.2 given in your textbook. For that activity, you need a tuning fork, a stand, a piece of thread, a small polystyrene ball. Here I have used a table tennis ball. Method: hang the table tennis ball or a small polystyrene ball using a piece of thread as shown in the figure. Vibrate the tuning fork and bring it close to the polystyrene or table tennis ball. Observe what happens. It is observed that the table tennis ball attracts towards the vibrated tuning fork when it is brought closer. The polystyrene or the table tennis ball moves only when there are vibrations in the tuning fork. Now it is clear that sound is generated because of vibration. Sound is produced due to vibration of an object. Vibrating plate produces waves in water. You can do this activity at home. When you strike the plate, with a spoon, you will be able to see waves in water. These waves occur due to vibration of the plate. It's a very simple activity. Another instance where sound is produced due to vibrations. Striking a frying pan using an object. You can do this activity at home. Conditions to be fulfilled for hearing. Presence of a source of sound. Traveling of sound towards the ear as sound needs a medium to travel. A healthy ear. Earlobes help to direct the sound into the ear. Instruments that produce sound. Now we are going to discuss about instruments with strings. String instruments. We can see a picture of a guitar, banjo, viola, violin, bass, lute, mandolin, cello, sitar, harp. Vibration of strings or string instruments. You can paste pictures of these instruments in your writing books. Another family, the string family. The string family is named for the gut wire or nylon cords that are stretched over the instruments. Striking, bowing, plucking or strumming the strings produces musical sounds that are amplified acoustically or electronically. Here I have shown you some pictures: harps, lutes, violins, cellos, sitars, electric guitars, bass guitars, acoustic guitars. Then vibration of membranes. They are called percussion instruments. I have shown you some instruments here: bongo drums, timpani or kettle drums, woodblock, tambourine, castanets, sleigh bells, snare drum, conga drums, glockenspiel, xylophone, chimes, claves, gong, cymbals, triangle, piano, organ, bass drum, harpsichord. And traditional drums can be taken as examples for membranes. Then we are going to discuss about wind instruments, vibration of air. Flute, clarinet, oboe, bassoon, horn, trumpet, trombone, tuba, tenor or saxophone. These are some examples of vibration of air. You can paste pictures for these as well. Accordion also belongs to those. Then we are going to discuss about propagation of sound. For that activity, you need a bell jar, a vacuum pump, an electric bell, few dry cells or a battery, connecting wires and a switch. Activity 11.5 given in your textbook. Fix the electric bell in the bell jar. You have to keep it inside the bell jar as shown in the figure. Connect it to the battery or dry cells and to a switch to supply electricity. Connect the vacuum pump to the bell jar so that the jar can be evacuated. That means you can remove the air inside the bell jar. First, switch on the electric bell after arranging all these apparatus and record your observations. Then switch on the electric bell again while evacuating the air in the bell jar using the vacuum pump. Record your observations. Finally switch on the electric bell again when the bell jar is completely evacuated and record your observations. What will you observe? Ringing of the electric bell can be heard when the bell jar is filled with air. When the air in the bell jar is gradually evacuating, the ringing of the bell gradually fades. When the air in the bell jar is completely evacuated, ringing completely fades off. It is clear that ringing of the bell is heard only when there is air in the bell jar. Sound is not heard in a space where there is no air, like a vacuum. It is clear that a medium is essential for sound to propagation. This activity is used to show a medium is essential for sound to propagate. It is clear that ringing of bell is heard only when there is air in the bell jar. Sound is not heard in a space where there is no air. So again, it is clear that a medium is essential for propagation of sound. Keep this in your mind. To find out whether sound propagates through liquids, sound traveling through water, you have to have a vessel or a bucket filled with water, clean water, and take a small bell in one hand and shake this bell inside the water to produce sound. Can you hear the sound of bell? You have to keep your ear like this without touching the water and listen to the sound of the bell. You can use a small bell for this activity. From these activities, we can conclude that sound travels through liquids. Sound travels through liquids faster than through air. Here is an example. When shallow grounds are flooded, the sound of the vehicles traveling on the nearby roads can be heard louder. To find out whether sound propagates through solids. Activity 11.7 in your textbook, and you can do 11.8 as well. We are going to discuss about those two activities. For this activity, you need to empty cups, yogurt cups or any other cups, a long thread about 10 meters long. Method: how do you connect? We are going to make a toy telephone. Connect the bottoms of the two cups to the thread as shown in the figure. Get the support of one of your friends for this activity. Keep one of the yogurt cups to your ear. Tell your friend to go as far as possible, keeping the thread well stretched. You have to stretch the thread properly and speak it to the other cup. This is a toy telephone. I think you have already made a toy telephone. You can hear your friend's voice through the wire. Here the medium is wire. Now, sound can travel through solids. We are going to discuss about this. Now ask your friend to tap on the table. The tapping sound can be heard through the table more clearly than through air. We hear the sound because it travels through wood and reaches your ear. Here the medium is wood. Sound travels faster in solids than air. You can hear the tapping sound of your friends clearly through the table. The medium is wood. Now we are going to discuss about the speed of sound. Sound travels with the speed of 343 meters per second through air. Glass, it is 5640 meters per second. Steel, 5940 meters per second. In water, 1493 meters per second. Seawater, 1533. These are the speeds of sound in different media. Another instance. What is a stethoscope? A stethoscope is a medical instrument used to listen to sounds produced in the body, especially those that emanate from the heart and lungs. Here also we use the energy of sound. Why is seeing quicker than hearing? There are some instances where speed of light that travels through air is much greater than the speed of sound. Sound of a train coming from far away can be heard clearly when the ear is kept on the railway line. Sound travels faster through solids than through air. This is a risky activity. Don't try this. When there is lightning in the sky, light and sound occur at the same time. However, we see the lightning first. We hear the sound of thunder only a few seconds after seeing the lightning. Here is a picture of we see the lightning first and then we hear the sound of thunder. Because light travels faster than sound. Now you can see another example. When a cannon is fired, the sound and the emission of smoke occur at the same time. But a far away observer hears the firing sound after few seconds of seeing the smoke. When a cannon is fired. This picture shows a cannon. Another example. When a pistol is fired at a 400-meter running event, the sound and the emission of smoke occur at the same time, but the viewers hear the sound after a few seconds. Communication is how people and animals share information or feelings. As people, we use words as well as smiles and other facial expressions. Communication. Marine animals use sound to communicate. As sound travels well in water, some animals can communicate over great distances. Blue whales can hear each other up to 1,000 miles apart. Then the worksheet will follow. Sound, grade 7, unit 11. First question. This diagram shows an activity done in the laboratory related to sound. Look at this diagram. You can see an electric bell jar, a cork, switch, and these two wires are connected to the electricity, and bell jar is connected to a vacuum pump. Now the first question, first part. What is the function done by the vacuum pump in this activity? Explain your idea about the ringing of the electric bell in the instances below. When air is in it, when air in the bell jar is completely evacuated. Number 3. Write your conclusions according to the observations obtained in part 2 above. The sound emitted by dolphins can be heard more intensely when a person is underwater, but the same sound emitted by them is heard very lightly when he is out of water. You have to explain the reason for this. Question number 2. Sound is necessary for hearing and communication. Part 1. Describe a simple activity that you have done to show that sound is produced by vibrations. During thunder, you see the light and hear the sound later. What is the reason for that? Number 3. Musical instruments give out sound in different ways. Give 2 examples for musical instruments that produce sound in following ways. By vibration of strings, by vibration of membranes, and by vibration of air. Question number 3. You have to fill these blanks. Number 1. The sound is produced by the blank. Number 2. Blank is necessary for sound to propagate. Number 3. Sound cannot travel in a blank. Number 4. Sound can travel through. There are 2 blanks and gases. Number 5. The speed of sound in air is blank meters per second. Number 6. The speed of sound in a liquid is blank than air. Number 7. Instruments that produce sound are called blank. Number 8. Sound is a form of blank. That is the end of this unit. Do this unit and subscribe this channel. Thank you for listening and watching.